Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Disney prep week. Ellie and I leave for our Christmas Disney trip in 8 days. I am so excited for this trip. I have been counting down to this one specifically for a very long time. So I thought it'd be fun to take you along and kind of do a different spin on my typical prepping for Disney vlog, but this time actually share my entire Disney travel checklist with you and go item by item and share everything I do leading up to a Disney trip the week before. So I am very excited to take you along today. We have a lot to do, so let's go. All right, I have my checklist pulled up, and the first couple of things I'm gonna do on my list is the running errands portion. So the first thing I'm gonna do is a Target run. I'm gonna purchase any little toiletry items that I may need for this trip, just like travel size products, and then snacks for our travel day. So this is separate than what I do for like ordering groceries, and I'll share more about that later. But this is just purchasing snacks for our travel day. We are flying, it's just me and Ellie. It's gonna be a shorter trip, so I don't need a ton. I'm not gonna go crazy. I might just pick out, you know, a couple of things. And then after Target, I'm gonna run over to the Dollar Tree and find a couple new little trinkety things for our trip. So I like to find those little like coloring packs. Well, those are at the dollar spot at Target, but at the Dollar Tree, I'll find some stickers, or I don't know, I always find something new and random every time we go to the Dollar Tree, but it's perfect because it's brand new and things that Ellie has never seen before, and it's new and exciting and keeps her entertained, and you know, it adds to the excitement of travel day and things I can pull out of my bag throughout the trip to keep her entertained while we're waiting in line, or when she's having to sit in the stroller for long periods of time. Things like that, those come in very handy. So Target and Dollar Tree are gonna be my very first two stops. All right, we are back from Target and Dollar Tree. I kept it pretty simple. So I did not go crazy with snacks just because, again, I'm anticipating ordering groceries. So I don't want to use up a ton of our space because we are gonna do carry-on with snacks and food when we'll get the majority of our things just delivered to our resort. So snack-wise, I picked up some of Ellie's favorite little snack bars, granola bars. It's this beech nut, strawberry whole grain bar that she loves. We got some goldfish and some peanut butter crackers. This is really for me, but I know Ellie likes these too, so this is kind of a good snack for both of us. And then some fruit snacks. And then I showed the Smart Sweet or Sweet Smart lollipops that I always get. I remembered when we were in the store that I actually have about half of a bag left from our last trip. So I already have them that I'm gonna take on this trip, but the fruit snacks reminded me to have some kind of little like treat for Ellie, again, in those moments when we just need a little bribe, or I need something exciting snack-wise to keep her busy that we don't normally have at home. So the lollipops and the little fruit snacks are just that. And toiletry-wise, I went through my bag in my bathroom and I didn't really need a ton. The only thing I needed a refill on was my water wipes. So these are actually great. I keep these in my little like mommy bag that I have that I carry with me in the park. In addition to our backpack, because wipes are one of those things that I need easy access to. We're flying through wipes with sticky fingers and all the things that you need water wipes for. And then activity-wise, I found these two in the dollar section at Target. I love these little packs because it comes with crayons and stickers and a little coloring book. So these are great like stroller activities. And then this little Minnie Mouse flashlight. So those are always really fun. And Dollar Tree, we really didn't find a ton. They had quite a few options, not a lot of travel-friendly options, a lot of like puzzles and painting activities and watercolor, like stuff like that would be fun for at home, but not on an airplane. So the only thing we picked up there were some new stickers. They had Lion King, Toy Story, Minnie and Mickey. They didn't have Frozen this time. We usually get the Frozen ones, but they had princess stickers. So these will be perfect. So, you know, this is about it. The little coloring activity, stickers, and the mini flashlight. And then I'll probably find a few little things around the house. But that is my little haul from our morning. The next thing on my Disney travel checklist is to finalize all of my trip details. So I sit down with my laptop and I go through our trip day by day and just make sure that I have thought of everything that we are gonna need. If I want to make any last minute changes, if I wanna add in a dining reservation, cancel a dining reservation, like those kind of changes. I also confirm our private transportation. I make sure that's lined up, getting from the airport to our Disney resort and then on our return travel day as well. Checking into flights, of course, that's something you can't do until 24 hours before. But one thing I will do is I will actually double check the flights and see if prices have dropped. And if I see some lower prices, I can either modify my flight and get some money back or get some points back, or I can change my flight time to something that would save me a little more money. Most of the time, I just leave it as is, but I always like to check and make sure that there's not a better option that's popped up for a lower price point because flight prices are changing all the time. So I like to check kind of that week before if there's any modifications I want to make to our flights. Another thing I'll do in this category, and this is actually a bad habit of mine, but I will check Disney resort prices to see if there are any good deals if I want to add on an extra day to our trip. And I always just check. I would say about half the time I end up adding on an extra night on the tail end of our trip or at the beginning, and I'll make our trip come a day sooner, which is always fun. I just always check. I'll even check DVC rental store, see if there's any last minute confirmed reservations because it's usually the week before where those really incredible deals drop with DVC rental store. And I sometimes will snag a last minute, just one night, crazy discounted stay at a deluxe resort and we can add on an extra night that way. So I always just check. So that's kind of everything that falls into this category of finalizing trip plans. I go over our itinerary, our flight info, and just kind of take it day by day and make sure that I've thought of everything. So that is the second step of my Disney travel checklist. All right, welcome to my bathroom. So the next thing on my Disney travel checklist is to actually go through my toiletry bag. And I know I kind of mentioned this earlier and I did this a little bit before we left for Target because I wanted to know if I needed anything, but I wanted to show this because this is actually a step on my travel checklist. So I will go through my toiletry bag that I keep in this cabinet here, and it is always stocked with all of my travel products. I don't even unpack this when I get home from a trip. It just stays packed at all times with all of my travel-sized toiletry products. So it's really nice because I'm able to open this bag and I can see exactly what I have, what I need more of, and kind of go from there. So it just stays stocked. And because I'm doing carry on this trip, I don't think I'm gonna do my full-on toiletry bag because this thing can just get a little heavy when I have it fully packed up. So I'm gonna use my clear pouch, and this is my toiletry bag that I use when we do carry on. And I can usually fit everything I need in this, I know. It's shocking. But again, I keep this stocked with other toiletry products. So I have my face wash and my night cream moisturizer. I have a travel sized toothpaste in here ready to go. And then on shorter carry-on only kind of trips, I just use the Disney H2O products. They're not my favorite, but it is a way to save space and cut down on other toiletry products. Of course, I'll throw in my toothbrush, and I need to bring these, my little makeup wipes, and that's pretty much it, you guys. Like, I keep it so simple when it comes to travel products, especially when I'm packing carry-on. But this is a very important thing that I do in my travel checklist, because I'm able to look at what I have in here and say, oh, I'm out of toothpaste. I need to go run and get another travel size toothpaste, or I'm out of my moisturizer, you know, whatever. And I know exactly what to get. So this time everything was fully stocked and I was good to go, and I just picked up those water wipes. But other than that, I was good. But this is always a very important step on my Disney travel checklist. All right, we've moved upstairs to the guest room, which is also my designated packing room. But the next thing on my Disney travel checklist is to lay out all of our outfits and make sure that I've got a game plan for what we're wearing each day for me and my daughter Ellie. So right now it's just kind of a big pile of stuff that I've brought up here. So let me go ahead and kind of coordinate everything, and we'll go from there. Starting with my outfits, and I'm gonna do a full packing video. So this is just a good starting point for me, but the first outfit is this black athletic dress, and I don't know if it's gonna get down into the 60s at night, so I'm just gonna bring this pullover just to have, and I can throw it on early in the mornings, at night, or I may not need it at all, but it's something I can keep in the bottom of our stroller and just have just in case. I'm still on the fence about this one. This is a great, just layered travel dress kind of outfit, super comfy, some jean shorts and a cute little t-shirt. And then we are going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party. So the outfit I'm thinking for the party is a white athletic skirt with this green athletic tank. That way, you know, when it's high 70s, I can be wearing this. And then if it cools down at night, I have a couple of sweaters from last year. So sadly, I can't link these. I hate that, but these are the sweaters that I got Christmas last year, and then some Christmas ears, but that's what I'm thinking for my outfit. And then for my 3-year-old daughter, I have a few different options. This first dress is super cute, but it's long sleeve, so I don't know, we'll play it by ear, but it's super cute, really pretty with the little Christmas tree. And then if it's a little bit warmer, then I can do a t-shirt with this really cute skirt with the gold stars, and you know, very, very Christmassy. And my daughter has been wearing this around the house like nonstop. I had to like hide it from her to get it in for today's video. And then a couple of little like Christmassy shirts. So I don't know, it's just gonna depend on the weather, but I have a few different options for her. I also have a pair of jean shorts, a couple of t-shirts, and her little Moana dress and Minnie Mouse dress. So again, this is not everything I'm packing. I'll do a full packing video, but this is just me getting started, laying out outfits, seeing what we have, what do we need, and then I can kind of build off of this. And how I piece our outfits together is I really take it day by day. So for instance, day 1 is travel day. We're arriving early afternoon, so I definitely want a change of clothes in case we decide to go to the pool or we want to go to a park that night and we don't want to stay in our travel clothes from that morning. I tend to go more like comfy pajama kind of clothes for early in the morning, but then later on in the day we'll want something to change into. So I really, again, I take it day by day, and sometimes I'll even write it out. I'll make little sticky notes and, you know, really try to coordinate and think through what are we gonna need, what does our schedule look like, and then I go outfit by outfit from there. And especially when I'm packing carry-on only like this trip, and this is a shorter trip. We're just going for 3 nights. Well, right now it's just 3 nights. It'll probably stay 3 nights, but you never know. But, you know, especially with a shorter trip and carry-on only, I really try to minimize what we're packing and the outfits. So I try to repeat shorts or sweaters or like kind of staple pieces that we can wear more than once, especially with it not being like the dead of summer anymore and it's not going to be 105 degrees out. You know, I think it's going to be maybe high 70s, low 80s. So it'll be warm, but I don't think we'll be completely drenched in sweat. So that'll help a lot with not having to do as many outfit changes, but then also having those staple items that we can rewear and knowing that I do have access to a washer and dryer in case of an emergency. At any Disney resort, you have access to a washer and dryer, so that really brings me a lot of peace and comfort when I'm packing, that if my daughter has some big mess or spill down an outfit that we were hoping to rewear, I have access to a washer and dryer. It's not the end of the world. It'll be okay. And again, that just brings me a lot of peace and comfort when I'm packing carry-on only. So I hope that's helpful, hearing how I kind of break down day by day and just my mindset behind packing carry-on only. Again, I'm gonna do a full packing video so you can see exactly what I bring, because this is just the beginning. This is just the outfits, and I'm going to be packing a few more clothing items, but this gives me a really good foundation to go off of when I do start actually packing. The next thing on my Disney travel checklist is to charge all of my electronic devices. This is probably the thing that I forget to do the most. So it is now on my official travel checklist because I always forget to do this. So these things include my daughter's tablet, our portable fans, and my portable phone charger, especially for travel day. I mean, apart from the fans, we have to have all of these things. So I always make sure that we are good to go well before our trip happens, and that it's just one less thing to think about on travel day and leading up to your first full park day once you get to Disney. So this time, I don't know if I'm gonna pack the fans. I'm undecided on that yet. The low is like high 60s. The high is around 80. So it's gonna be warm, but I don't know. Again, I don't think I'm gonna be like drenched in sweat needing a fan. So I don't know. I might leave the fans behind just to save on space, but I do need to charge my daughter's tablet and make sure that all of our downloaded things are updated, because on the Amazon Kids tablet, all of our downloaded shows on Disney Plus, those do expire. So I have to make sure anytime we travel that all of those things are updated, and I have to renew all of our shows. And again, just make sure everything is good to go. This is the little pouch I keep all of my portable fans in. I keep our cooling towels in here and any other little electronic anything, and then all the chargers are at the bottom. So that way, when our Disney trip comes around, I just pull this out of my closet and I have all of our electronics that I take with us to the parks already packed in this little pouch. I can charge everything, zip this up, throw it in the suitcase. So I keep it very easy. And I was gonna share how I have our tablet set up, but all of our games and apps have disappeared. So I have no clue what is going on. This is a perfect example of how finicky the Amazon Kids Fire tablet can be, and it's very frustrating. This is not the first time this has happened. I have our Wi-Fi turned on, like I'm really just not sure where everything went. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of investigating here, maybe Google some things and try to figure out why all of these little tabs are missing and where all of our apps and content went, because I had all of our apps perfect and they're things that Ellie loves and she's excited about, and I'm like, where did it go? So again, another example of why I make sure that this is good to go before travel day. So not only is it charging, but now I have another project to add to my list. I need to figure out what is missing here, like what is going on here, and how to get all of our content back on her tablet. The next thing on my Disney travel checklist is to prep my park bag. This is also my carry-on bag as well at the airport, but I like to make sure that I have everything I need, especially for my 3-year-old, any little travel activity, any activities that I want to keep in our park bag. And I actually just keep this backpack again, tucked away in my closet, but I keep it fully packed and stocked from our last trip. So now when I'm pulling it out, ready to go for another trip, I'm able to go through and see everything that is still in the bag from our last trip. And from the looks of it, I think I'm ready to go. Like, I don't think there's anything else I need to add to it, but I like to go through and just double check and make sure that I have everything for our trip. So let me show you what the bag looks like, just pulling it straight out of the closet. Okay, so I've opened everything up and I have my first aid kit. This actually just stays in our room. Really, I don't bring this to the park. There's first aid at the Disney park, so I just don't feel the need to carry that with me, but it is nice to have that in the room. And then this is my little travel pouch of goodies. So I actually like that this is not a clear pouch intentionally. That way I can pull this out and keep little surprises for my daughter in here. So this is full of little trinkety toys. I mean, there is just all kinds of stuff in here, just all kinds of stuff that I can pull out during mealtime, if we're waiting in line for something, especially on the plane and the airport, if we have an hour to kill before, you know, our plane takes off, before we board. This is like my magic mom pouch of magic things. And then I've also added the little couple of items that we picked up today. So I need to, you know, undo that. That'll go in here. And then I actually found, these are the stickers from earlier today. I found some Frozen stickers that we didn't open from our last trip. So those will go in the pouch as well. Another thing in here is glow sticks. So we have been working on these glow sticks since our April trip. I think I had a 20 pack and we have a few left, but this will be perfect. I taped the bottom of it so they wouldn't fall out, and that way they wouldn't crack or break. So anyway, they're like really in there, but I've got 4 more glow sticks for our trip. So that'll be perfect. I've got some Clorox wipes. We've got some hand sanitizer, my daughter's headphones, our little water coloring tablet. And then this is our meal bag, the famous meal bag. So if you have seen any of my other packing videos or anything else, you know that this is the bag that I keep fully stocked anytime we sit down at a restaurant. That is trash. But I keep some of these little lollipops in here, a spoon and a fork, some Play-Doh, some crayons, and then these stick-on coloring placemats. So that way Ellie is fully entertained when we are waiting for our food, and this just stays in our park bag. So this is fully stocked and ready to go. And then everything else, I think I just need to add a couple of those little things in here, and I think we're good to go. The next thing on my Disney travel checklist is to order groceries to be delivered at our resort. And I wanted to talk through this because this is something I do get a lot of questions about, because if you've never done it before, it can be a little overwhelming or confusing, and you just don't know where to start. There are a lot of different routes you can go. You can use Walmart, Instacart. I like to use Amazon, either Amazon Whole Foods or Amazon Fresh. But what I do is when I open my Amazon app, and I'm looking at this right now, there's a tab at the top called Groceries, and then it gives you the option to click on whether you want Amazon Fresh or Amazon Whole Foods. Both are pretty much the same. Again, I've found that there's more availability, more items are in stock with Amazon Fresh, but Whole Foods is also a route that we have gone as well, and it's the exact same experience. So either way, you are getting a grocery delivery from Amazon. It's really the same no matter what. So I'm gonna click on Amazon Fresh. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit my delivery address, because I don't wanna forget to do this and then at checkout accidentally have the groceries sent to my home address. So I am gonna go on my Disney app. I'm gonna click on the resort that we're staying at, and I can actually just copy the address from my Disney Experience app, and I can add that into my address book in Amazon. So I'm essentially adding in a new delivery address to my Amazon app, and that is where I'm gonna have my groceries delivered, and then I'll just add a little note like leave with bell services, leave at front desk, or something. Wherever the resort you're staying at will look a little bit different, but that is the first step. Before I get started with groceries, I always wanna make sure that I have the address plugged in and that I don't accidentally forget as I'm clicking through the checkout process. From there, my go-to items, I actually have them just saved because I order pretty much the same thing every Disney trip, but I always get a case of water. I'll get some applesauce pouches because that's a more bulky item that I don't want to travel with. And then I'll also get some bread and peanut butter. That is a safe lunch option for my daughter, and it has to be like the original creamy peanut butter. So I know exactly what to get with her, but bread and peanut butter, and then I'll get some yogurt pouches. I'll get some fruit like strawberries, blueberries, something like that. And then my daughter loves cottage cheese, which is a really good kind of afternoon snack when we come back to the room that I can keep in the fridge. Those are really our staple items when we are not staying in a one-bedroom DVC villa where we have a full kitchen with a freezer and all of that. I keep it very simple when we're staying in just a regular Disney hotel room with the beverage cooler. And because this trip is so short, I'm not really worried about the yogurt and the whole beverage cooler situation. If you are staying in a room with just a beverage cooler for 7 nights, I would avoid dairy products, Uncrustables. It's just not gonna get cold enough to keep those items fresh. So definitely take that into consideration when you are building out your grocery list. If you have a beverage cooler or an actual refrigerator, like if you're staying in a DVC studio, those rooms do have an actual refrigerator. And then any non-DVC studio, just like a regular hotel room at Caribbean Beach, is gonna have a beverage cooler. So just do a little research and know the difference of the room that you're in and what the fridge or beverage cooler option is. But that is pretty much it. And there is a delivery fee. There's an option for you to add a tip at the end, and that is pretty much it. So once you do it the first time, you realize, okay, this really isn't that bad. It's not scary. Like, you can do it. So that is the other thing on my Disney travel checklist, though, is to order groceries. So I'll wait to do that 24 hours before our trip. And the last thing on my Disney travel checklist is to clean and tidy the house. I know I cannot be the only person who has to come home to a clean house, a clean kitchen, a clean bedroom. I just like knowing that things are left in order and all of the dishes are done, put away, like everything's clean. There's not anything left in the sink, like gross, nasty stuff while we're on a trip and then we come home and it's not fun to come home to. So I like knowing that everything is at least tidy. This trip is gonna look a little bit different because it's just me and my daughter going, so my husband is staying home and he's really great about keeping the house clean and tidy. So I don't feel like I have as much pressure this time to make sure that it's like spotless, because he'll be staying home and taking care of things while we're gone. So that is the last thing though. If this was like a big family trip, I would definitely have a more intense like cleaning list leading up to our travel day. But I'll just make sure kind of the day before that everything is put away and cleaned up. And of course I want to leave the home nice for my husband as he's going to be staying home this time. So that's kind of the last thing on my list though. So groceries and cleaning up and tidying the house are the last 2 things on my travel checklist, and those are more last minute things. Everything else is good. Like I'm able to kind of fly through the list, but I hope this was helpful, kind of seeing my step-by-step process of how I prep for a Disney trip, and the list that I keep on my phone. Just anytime a Disney trip rolls around, I have my travel checklist ready to go. I know exactly what to do and what I need to do to prep for the trip. But definitely stick around and subscribe for my packing video that's coming soon. And then of course, I'll be sharing some from our Disney trip as well. So I'd love for you to stick around and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. But I think that is it. So I will see you in my next one. Bye.